Well, welcome back to the big board. And of course, the moment I turned the camera on, out comes the sun. It was nice and cloudy and no glare. So sorry about that. I thought I would give you a quick update. It's been a day or two since I've touched the board, and I've been back in Austin dealing with some business things and avoiding being mugged. Oh, I cracked myself up. Oh, what a sorry town that's become. Okay, lots of lovely Californians there, though, that are bringing culture and diversity just on a regular basis. So it's fabulous. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about OCS and, in particular, this module, Crimea. And I think I mentioned to you that I was becoming, more than a tad tediously intrigued with the Sevastopol siege and the push me pull you efforts going on to the left of the camera. We'll have a look at that in a sec if we can be bothered. So I thought I would perhaps go a little early in the 20-turn scenario and just go off and let's just land on the spit here and see how things go, or the peninsula, I guess, the narrowest point of this isthmus. Is that the right word? Who knows? I'm just literally making shit up as I go along here. So if you're an aficionado of OCS or you care about the exact details, tune out now, because I'm really just going to crap on for 4 or 5 minutes about the landings and then move right on to the next turn. Either that or go and have lunch with some friends and drink some wine. It's a toss-up at this point. So let's dig in and have a quick look at what happened. So I landed here and here and here and here. And basically 2 units per hex, did all the rolls. There's a table up here, Amphibious Landing Table, the ALT table. And it's got die rolls for failure, mixed result, and success. And you basically, in the open or hills terrain, you need to roll a 6 or better. There are some mods. Landing in Ezox, bad. Ezox is for my dear friend, you know who you are, enemy zone of control. Just for you, I said that. Ezox will subtract a modifier and make it harder to land. Duh, obviously, right? So there's some other bits and pieces in there that cause modifiers as well. Landing in the rough terrain, however, you need a 7 or more. So now it becomes a little bit more difficult. So there was a unit here, and this little breakdown guy, pretty tough little chap actually, 443, excuse me. But our air went in spectacularly well for the first time for the Russians in the game. No flak result. I don't think, no flak result. I got a flak result last time, it was really annoying. So they were disrupted, DG'd, and guess what? Or disorganized is technically what it is. But nevertheless, they were disrupted, which, bye-bye zone of control, right? So we managed to land here without too much trouble, and then assaulted into the hex. It was just a blistering attack 12 on the max table with all the goodness that could be mustered in terms of appropriate surprise rolls and all the rest of it. Everything went the Soviets' way at the most opportune time, because, Sevastopol is under a little bit of pressure. Now, concurrently with that, so, there was landing and stuff happened. So now this is going to cut off eventually this peninsula to the right, the Kerch Strait, unless our quick reaction force, which is way up in the north, can get down here and help solve some problems. So I'm just going to move the camera to the right. At the same time, because why not synchronize? We pushed across the ice here with infantry formations, where we captured the airfield. We're attempting to infiltrate our way into making life miserable for all the chappies that are down here. And it's not looking good. The good news is they won't trick out, when it comes to isolation rolls and stuff like that for lack of supply. So that's good. So there'll be no breakout rolls, and they're pointless anyway, generally speaking, I think. So we'll do that. No, actually, breakout rolls aren't bad the Blitzkrieg Legend and DAC. They seem to work there. So there's that. Now let's quickly look where's the QRF, right? Where's the quick reaction force? Well, I've got this on here because I was gone out of town. It disrupts the cats walking. They don't like it. I've got guys up here, chaps in reserve, and these guys just a beat down. In the wrong place at the wrong time, literally. Clearly keeping them right here where most of them would have been much, much smarter, Kevin. So, classic fail. All right. Finally, real quick, can I move the camera? No, let's just do that. Sevastopol, after a couple of I don't know, let's just call them argy-bargy attacks, where you're trying to roll in at best at a 4-1, and even if you get a good result, let's call it a DL1. The bad guys lose a step. You're probably pulling an AO1, which means that you have the option to either retreat or take a step loss. So you take a step loss, now your combat factors are further weakened. This is a real tough nut to crack, and maybe a poor scenario for me to have chosen, but I was curious about this invasion action going on, and I'm almost literally can't be bothered here for a wide variety of reasons. These number 4 hedgehogs are just a beat down, so almost no chance to get a surprise. You've literally got to roll 9 or better pretty much for everything, for surprise, for for a static attack shoot, given that there's a -4 there, and even with the delta on the AR ratings, because that ends up being a modifier. You've got to roll 9 or 10 to have even a chance at surprise. And of course, the last attack, I didn't get surprised, and things went to the left. So they went from 4-1 to less, whatever it was. I think it was just a couple of shifts. But here's the interesting thing. Because we're fighting, where is the chart? Because we're fighting in close terrain, I'll show you this. One of the neat things with the CRT, and look, this is not a dig on the game by any means. I'm just not into siege warfare. Don't really care. I'm more interested in sort of the what do you call it? Maneuver warfare. So if we were to look in very close, which is what this is, very close terrain, 4-1. All right. So we're very close, 4-1. The break is 2 columns. I need to get to 6-1 raw odds to have a much better chance. And even then, I've got some AL1s. Look at that, all the way down to 7, right? So with a -4 on the die roll, well, -3 basically, because you're going to have some AR benefit, maybe a -2. You really got to start rolling 9 or better. Even there, you've got an AO1, so you're going to take a step loss. AO1's all the way, right? Well, if I get a 12, an 11 or 12, then life becomes better. So tricky with the odds breaks are what is, I think, hurting the Germans more than anything else, and it's also the hedgehogs, of course, are delaying things. So it's good for the Soviets. They're enjoying life. They're pushing guys in. Had to do a little rereading of how we get more replacements in there and steps in there, and that's part of the challenge for the Soviets. They've got a limited amount of force in here. We've been pushing some supply in so that they can do counter battery fires or try and be in reserve. The Germans have done a nice job of knocking units out of reserve with artillery. That's cost them quite a bit of supply, but they've gone through that exercise, that sort of cat and mouse game of trying to keep things in reserve, getting them knocked out of reserve, and then if you get a double turn, life becomes interesting for the Germans because now all the bad guys are out of reserve mode, and then some of the units, the enemy units, are still in DG mode. So now you don't have to spend as much the next turn to go into combat. You don't have to worry about DG and stuff, assuming you're attacking the same things. All right. Anyway, thought I'd just share that little bit. Cool little game. We're gonna keep going here. I want to see if I can cut off and isolate the Kerch Strait, and then we're just gonna race for here up the peninsula. We're gonna race up to here. That'll kill supply pretty much, if not here, then here. That'll kill supply for the Germans, and then we'll cede the game to the Russians with a clear victory, even though, the Germans still hold many of the ports. It puts them in an untenable situation. Now, I don't know. There may be some opportunities here for the Germans to do some very clever counterattacking, or use their somewhat capable air force, and see if they can pull the fat out of the fryer or the fire or whatever it is they're going to do. All right, later, guys. Go roll some dice. It's Friday. Enjoy it.